Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Another big crowd expected tonight at Miller Park, so have some fun outside before you come inside. And once you come inside, there's more fun in there as well. Little miniature Bernie's dugout. You ready? It is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Milwaukee Brewers in the middle game of a three-game set from Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees took the first game of this three-game set 5-3, and right in the middle of it was the rookie Yangervis Solarte. But what a different rookie he is. 8 years in the minor leagues, not a sniff of the majors, and now we look up. He gets a big hit again yesterday. He's leading the team with 18 ribbies.
Well, it really is an amazing story for Solarte and how far he has come, all that time spent in the minor leagues. We're going to take a look at his first big league home run in Tampa against Grant Balfour. But the reason he made this team, he's a switch hitter. He can play good defense. You can move him around the field. The Yankees never realized that he would be leading this club with 18 RBIs at this point. Last night, the big swing, the three-run home run, second of his career, and the Yankees get the first game of the series.
His numbers just jump out at you. In 29 games, 304, 12 extra base hits, 18 ribbies, 11 runs scored. Look at the OPS. He leads the team in ribbies and OPS. Not too bad for a non-roster invitee. Now, the pitching matchup tonight is interesting because CC Sabathia is on the mound. His last two starts have not been good at all. He admits that, so he needs to bounce back.
Well, he needs to bounce back, and he's coming back to Miller Park where he spent some time as a Brewer. You hope that that means good things for Sabathia, but his last two outings against Seattle, against Tampa Bay, they were not good. Too many balls in the middle of the plate. When he's throwing a changeup, it's cutting. When he's throwing a sinker, it's not sinking. He's looking to get back on track tonight here in Milwaukee, where he has a lot of positive memories. See Will Myers with the inside the park home run in Yankee Stadium. Sabathia hoping to change his season around tonight.
His last two starts, John, not very good. 5 innings against Seattle, 9 hits, 4 runs. And then the game against Tampa Bay that you just saw, 3 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, just 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He needs to be better than that for the Yankees. Now, they love him here in Milwaukee. He took this town by storm in 2008. When we get back, Meredith Barakovich will look at those magical months where he led them to the playoffs, and we'll hear from CC as well. That's coming up next, right here on Yes.
Yankees baseball. Game 2 of the 3-game series between the Yankees and Brewers set to get underway in just a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. Now, Brewers fans will see a familiar face on the mound tonight. CC Sabathia is expected to get the ball, and while he didn't spend a tremendous amount of time here in Milwaukee, he certainly left a lasting impression. In the 17 starts he made, he went 11-2 with an ERA under 2, struck out 128 batters, not to mention the final 3 starts of the season. He went on 3 days rest. You have to respect that. And CC Sabathia actually said not only was that big to get the Brewers to the playoffs, but also prepared him for his future with the Yankees.
You know, pitching down the stretch in 08 and pitching on 3 days rest and, you know, pitching in those tight games, I think definitely helped me in 09. You know, we went with 3 starters in the playoffs in 09 and pitching on 3 days rest the whole time. So it was kind of, I was used to it, used to the routine and used to the way everything happened. So I definitely think my time here and experience here helped me in 09 to be able to go out and pitch and, you know, help us win the World Series.
Sabathia went on to say 2008 and the second half of 2009 was probably the best he has ever felt on the mound. Now he will try to regain form. 2014 has been a little bit up in the air for CC Sabathia. He'll try to right the ship right here in Milwaukee. Michael Kay and John Flaherty will have the call of the game coming up next. Lineups, first pitch baseball, right here on Yak.
Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Buick. Visit tristatebuick.com for great lease offers. By La Quinta Inns and Suites. Wake up on the bright side at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book now at lq.com. And by your local Acura dealer. A little chilly outside, so they've closed the roof here at Miller Park. We will play this one indoors tonight. The Brewers have taken the field. Let's take a look at tonight's Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. Jacoby Ellsbury, the center fielder, will lead off. Batting second and playing left is Brett Gardner. Carlos Beltran is in right field. He'll hit third. Cleaning up the first baseman, Mark Teixeira. Brian McCann will catch. He'll bat fifth, batting sixth, and hitting in the number 6 hole playing third base, Jan Hervis Solarte. Brian Roberts at second base will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. Derek Jeter has the night off. And CC Sabathia is going to hit. And by the way, he'll pitch too.
Well, that lineup for the New York Yankees going to face the veteran 35-year-old Kyle Loesch. We look at his numbers on the year. He's gone off to a good start, 4-1, 2.72 ERA. We're going to check out our pitcher scouting report. which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. He is a perfect number 3 in anybody's rotation. Will take the ball about 30 to 33 times a year, right around 200 innings, and a good mix of his pitches. 42% fastball, 32 slider. He mixes in a changeup and a curveball, and he needs to watch out for Carlos Beltran. Incredible numbers, 490 against Loesch in his career with 4 home runs.
Yankees won last night by a 5-3 score, so looking to take this series. They've taken 3 out of 4 so far on this road trip. 2 out of 3 against the Angels in Anaheim, and the first one last night against Milwaukee. Jacoby Ellsbury getting ready in the left-handed batter's box. Kyle Loesch is ready. And let's do it here in Milwaukee. First pitch is swung on, fouled away, and we are underway.
Well, like I said in that scouting report, Kyle Loesch is not an overpowering pitcher with his fastball. Throws it under 50% of the time. He really relies on his slider, changeup, and curveball, and the combination of all 4 of those has gotten him off to a nice start this year.
And the right-hander deals. Inside 1-1. Home plate umpire is Paul Emmel. First base umpire Tom Woodring. At second is Marvin Hudson. At third, Jerry Meals. Grounded to second. Weeks is there. 1 down. Why don't we check out the Milwaukee defense, which is presented by Geico. In the outfield, Davis, Gomez, and Gindel. That's right to left, or check that left to right. In the infield, third to first, Ramirez, Segura, Weeks, and Reynolds. Lucroy behind the plate, and Loesch is on the mound. With the roof closed, you got that odd, funky shadow running from the left field foul line into right center field. It'll be an hour before that goes away completely.
I was just thinking it's strange to be indoors. The roof is covering it, but you still have the sun in center field and the shadows.
Last night, the only time this year the roof has been open. It seemed like a lovely afternoon here in Milwaukee, but temperatures expected to be in the 40s in the evening, so you got a roof, you use it, and they've used it, and they've closed it tonight. They must really expect it to get cold because outside right now it's 63 degrees. Inside it's 72.
I got a report for you.
Okay.
Upper 40s.
Right.
Chance of rain.
There you go. Better safe than sorry. The 1-1. Gardner skies it to left center. Gomez comes over to make the play for the second out. Well, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. Let's see if it jives with what John's saying. 63 degrees outside right now. Humidity 40%. Wind 11 miles per hour. Partly cloudy and pleasant.
I have an updated weather report. I mean, in our booth, we had a little weather forecast. So.
All right. Well, right now, inside at 72. We're good with that.
72 and sunny.
Especially in right center field. Here's Carlos Beltran. 25 for 51 lifetime against Loesch. As John said, 490 batting average against Loesch. Now that is a nice sample size. They can't all be bloops.
I was reading that's the highest percentage or the highest average against any pitcher-hitter combination in the big leagues this year. You give Loesch credit, he's not backing away, going right at Beltran. Quickly ahead in the count 0-2.
Popped up. Segura makes the play. And the Yankees go down in order here in the first. 1, 2, 3. Yankees nothing. And the Milwaukee Brewers coming back. the Brewers' chance against that man, CC Sabathia. Brewers are 22-14 on the season, and they lead off their center fielder, Carlos Gomez. Gene Segura, the shortstop, will bat second. Batting third and catching, Jonathan Lucroy. Aramis Ramirez, the third baseman, cleans up. Batting fifth, playing second base, Ricky Weeks. Mark Reynolds at first base will bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing left field, Chris Davis. Caleb Gindel is in right field. He's going to bat eighth, and batting ninth and pitching, Kyle Loesch.
Well, that lineup for the Brewers is going to face a veteran left-hander, CC Sabathia. Gotten off to a rough start this year. We'll take a look at his numbers on the season. 8th start, 3-4, 5.75 ERA. We'll take a look at our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. We already talked in the open. He's coming off back-to-back bad starts, looking to rebound. And the good news, interleague leader, 24-9 in interleague play. That's third all-time with those 24 wins. And he loves it here in Milwaukee. Miller time, 2.13 ERA in this building. That is the lowest for any starter with at least 10 starts here.
So Gomez will start it off. And CC deals. The thing that heartens Sabathia and also people around the Yankees is his strikeout per 9 innings rate. It's the highest of his career. So his stuff is swing and missable. 9.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. His best rate ever was 8.9. And Joe Girardi said before the game, we think he's got the stuff to be very, very good. He said he's just been having that one bad inning where he's been unable to really stop the bleeding, and it kind of gets out of hand. He said, but his stuff is good. He said, we're not worried about that. And CC said he's not worried either. That one is drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. A long, monstrous home run by Carlos Gomez, who's running around the bases very fast. And when he gets home, it'll be 1-0 Milwaukee.
Well, we saw Carlos Gomez last night taking some monstrous hacks, and he didn't center one up like he did right here. That is an absolute bomb. Middle in with the fastball. He beats Sabathia to the spot. 9th home run of the year, and Milwaukee's on the board.
Here's Gene Segura. First pitch is a strike. That ball hit off the glass in front of the Stadium Club. That was a prodigious shot by Gomez. And John, for a guy that's been accused of styling around the bases, he pretty much circled the bases as if it was an inside the park home run.
Well, and we talked about this last night with Brian McCann, the incident that these two had last year. They cleared the air yesterday afternoon, and I don't know if that was the reason for the quick sprint around the bases. But the guy is so talented, has so much ability, he doesn't need to cause any bad will with the opponents.
Count 1-2. That is not a home run trot. It's almost a guy going for a triple.
What's with the tapping of the helmet around each base? There's still a little style in his game.
Fly ball, shallow right, coming on Beltran, and he makes the play for the first out.
The bat knob first, and then the barrel comes next. Tremendous extension, good drive on the backside.
Here's Jonathan Lucroy. And a strike.
You know, Michael, getting back to your point about Joe Girardi and Sabathia believing that his stuff is good enough to win games, and I agree with that, but I just think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive early in counts like he did with Lucroy right there. Fastball down the middle, get ahead, and then you start expanding. I think he's been a little too tentative in some of his at-bats against his opponents where the pitch count gets elevated, and he's pitching, I think, a little bit too cautious.
count 1-2. Paul Emmel hardly lifts his arm on a strike call, so sometimes I'm going to miss it, and in advance I will apologize. Looks like he's twitching rather than throwing his arm up in the air for a strike. Count 2-2. Grounded to short. Brendan Ryan for the second out. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense, which is presented by our good friends at Geico. In the outfield, left to right, Gardner, Ellsbury, and Beltran. Infield, third to first, Solarte. Brendan Ryan making his first appearance of the year. He's at short. Roberts at second. Teixeira at first. McCann behind the plate. And Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound.
We look at that lineup defensively. A little surprised Alfonso Soriano didn't get a start tonight. Good numbers against Loesch coming in, a .357 batting average, 4 home runs.
Here's Ramirez, and a breaking ball strike. What a rude greeting for Sabathia. First batter clubs a home run, a really long one too. 0-1. Off speed, swung on a miss. 9 home runs for Gomez, now 21 ribbies. Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. The 0-2. 1-2. Broken bat looper into center field, a base hit. So Ramirez with a 2-out single.
Coming into this series, Ramirez has really been struggling at a base hit last night. And this one off the end of the bat shatters his bat, but is strong enough to muscle it into center field. Looked like a sinking fastball tailing away.
And I was going to face Ricky Weeks, who is essentially now a bench player who makes $11 million a year. Lost his job last year. Scooter Gennett. But he gets to start against Sabathia.
Had some hamstring problems last year. Actually had surgery to clean it up. Lost his job like you mentioned. And now getting some opportunities off the bench and gets an opportunity against Sabathia, the left-hander.
Had the hamstring injury early August, but before that, a .202 hitter, 10 homers and 24 runs batted in. So he was struggling before that, the count 0-2. Grounded to second. Bryant Roberts over to first, and that will do it. But CeCe was greeted rudely by this swing by Carlos Gomez. He sends a ball into orbit against the restaurant in left field. When it came down, it was 1-0 Milwaukee. To you by Toyota. Prius is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. And here's how we started the conversation. Who is the best all-around center fielder in the National League and why? Let's see. DeReal, Rylav, 44-23. It has to be Andrew McCutchen. He's just a great 5-tool player that any team would be lucky to have. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going.
I'd like to put Carlos Gomez in that conversation, Michael.
He's pretty special.
Wow.
Watching him around the batting cage today, he has a lot of fun. You could see if you're not on his team how it could rub you the wrong way, but it seems like he's just having a blast playing baseball. The 0-1 to Teixeira, outside 1-1. Let's compare, John. McCutchen 319, 4 and 18. Gomez 299, 9 and 21. And they both play very good center field. That one is lined into right field. It's going to dunk in there for a base hit. So Teixeira leads off the second with a single.
Teixeira with good numbers against Kyle Loesch coming in. Looked like he got a changeup that was elevated a little bit. Didn't hammer it, but strong enough to get it into right field.
Here's Brian McCann. Now, Brian McCann is the one yesterday that kind of initiated the peace talks with Carlos Gomez. Yankees take an early BP. Gomez came out of the dugout. McCann saw him and say, "Hey, my man, come over here." And then they started talking and they settled their differences. And McCann said, he plays hard, and that's what you have to like as a baseball player. He said, so we have no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, the problem is when you show your opponent up, or in Brian McCann's case, you show up the pitcher for the Atlanta Braves last year. And that's where he had to stand up for his pitcher and his pitching staff.
And Gomez's excuse, and this is the first at bat yesterday where he came up and tapped him on the shoulder, but Gomez's excuse from last year was that he had a history with Paul Maholm, and he was paying him back for something that Maholm had done earlier in the year.
Isn't the home run payback enough?
I guess it should be. Foul back, 2-2.
I never wanted the opponent to have any extra motivation to try harder to get me out. Obviously a guy like Gomez has so much ability, but just let your game speak for itself. He's so talented.
Not an extreme shift on for McCann, but a shift nonetheless. The third baseman, Ramirez, is playing where the shortstop should be. The shortstop is still on the shortstop side of the bag. Usually he deals with three infielders on the right side. So the count is full on McCann. Runner goes, swung on and missed, and it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Well, when you send Teixeira, you're putting a lot of pressure on McCann to make contact. He didn't do it, and it was as good as a double play.
Well, you can see Reynolds not really holding Mark Teixeira on, playing off the bag. Mark thinking he can get a good jump and sneak a stolen base. Fortunately for him and the Yankees, McCann swings through it. A good throw by Lucroy.
Well, here's one of last night's heroes, Yangervis Solarte, a 3-run home run. We talked about it on the open. Takes a pitch outside, 1-0. Solarte and the White Sox super rookie Jose Abreu are the only rookies who lead their teams in RBIs this season. And he certainly likes hitting on the road. 352, 250 at the stadium. Kind of a wave through that one. Count 1-2.
Well, we've seen so many kids come up to from the minor leagues. They get off to such a great start, and then they kind of fade away and fizzle a little bit. The league figures them out. Not the case with Solarte, still playing at a high level. The batting average over 300.
And it looked, John, like the fade or the fizzle was happening maybe the third week in April. His average was dipping. You figured, well, you got that much out of him. But he made an adjustment as well to the other team's adjustment, and he seems to be thriving again.
Now, the bottom line is confidence. You get off to such a hot start. Paid your dues in the minor leagues and taking advantage of a big-time opportunity.
Grounded past a diving Reynolds and into right field. So a base hit for Solarte.
Now the base hit to extend the inning, but now the caught stealing of Mark Teixeira at second base. They're taking away a possibility of a big inning here in the second. Gets on top of a high fastball. Was fooled by the changeup. Loesch tried to go with a high heater, and Solarte just beat him.
Well, that's going to bring up Brian Roberts. Last 14 games for Roberts, 18 for 54. That's .333. And during that span, he leads the Yankees in hits as well. One more than Jacoby Ellsbury. Joe Girardi said, I want to give Jeter and Roberts a rest. I didn't want to give him a rest in the same day. So Jeter will play tomorrow and Roberts will be off. Count 1-1.
Now, I was a little surprised to hear that. Surprised that Jeter not in the lineup today. I mean, they just had a day off coming from Anaheim. Joe Girardi very diligent in giving some of his regulars some days, even probably at the beginning of the year when they don't need it. Should help them down the stretch.
I asked Girardi, did Jeter give you a hard time about being taken out of the lineup today? He looked at me and smiled and said, when hasn't he given me a hard time over the years about not playing?
Especially Derek coming off a good series out in Anaheim. Didn't swing the bat all that great last night. 0 for 4. He doesn't look real happy sitting in that dugout.
Milwaukee leads 1-0 on the Gomez home run. The 2-2. Grounded foul. And the 2-2. High fly ball, shallow center. Gomez there in left center. He makes the play for the final out of the second. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second. The second. Let's take a look at tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center Inspired Medicine. Sean Kelly was not available yesterday. We found out after the game because his back had stiffened up. He had an MRI on the lower back. No structural issues, listed as day-to-day. Asked Girardi today, is he available? He said probably not, but he feels a lot better. And this happens, John, from time to time when you're on a long flight. And Kelly said he just felt uncomfortable on the flight from Anaheim to Milwaukee. And when he woke up, he was very, very stiff. So they took precautions, put him in the MRI tube, and so far good news where it doesn't seem as if it's anything that is de-eligible. Here's Mark Reynolds. Reynolds had a home run in the ninth inning last night against David Robertson. And with Mark, it seems simplistic, but it almost seems he's going to strike out or hit a ball out. Now, obviously, he does other things, but those are the prominent parts of his resume. High pop-up. Ryan puts it away for the first out. Now, CC Sabathia is essentially a folk hero here in Milwaukee, and he spent only 4 months in a Milwaukee uniform in 2008. But his hero status was kind of solidified. They needed wins down the stretch, and he was an impending free agent, and he took the ball 3 times in a row on 3 days rest, and actually pitched the wild card clinching game on 3 days rest. And his agent was begging him, don't do that, you could get hurt. But CC was all in, and the town appreciated it. He loved his time here, and they actually made a significant bid to try to retain his services, but the Yankees won out.
Well, he got a nice ovation when he was introduced as a starting pitcher. You wonder when he comes up to the plate for the first time what type of reaction he's going to get.
And that's the owner of the Brewers, Mark Attanasio, who grew up in the Bronx as a huge Yankee fan, but now he owns the Milwaukee Brewers. Count 2-1. I think his favorite player on the Yankees was Willie Randolph. Now, the key player that Milwaukee sent to Cleveland was Matt Laporta, who was looked at as a can't-miss prospect. And Doug Melvin got involved with the Indians. He's the GM of the Brewers, Doug Melvin. And they talked back and forth. He wanted to make the trade before the All-Star break so he could get 2 starts in before the All-Star break. And they kept insisting on Matt Laporta. He said, okay, if I put Laporta in, we have to do the deal right now. That one is driven to left field. Brett Gardner, fighting the sun, puts it away for the second out. And they included Laporta. They made the deal, and here he is pitching the game that got them into the wild card.
Yeah, Sabathia talking about his times in Milwaukee, saying probably the best he has ever felt on the mound was 08, and then that season in 09 with the Yankees when they won the World Series. Did everything that an ace is supposed to do when he came over in this trade. Gets a big hug. Prince Fielder.
Yeah, he was 11-2 with a 1.65 in those 4 months with Milwaukee. So he was the reason they got that wild card. And there's the deal. Laporta, who I believe is now playing in Mexico, never really made it the way they thought. Zach Jackson, Rob Bryson, and Michael Brantley.
Michael Brantley's having a nice year, nice career.
Remember something that Dallas Green once told me. He said, the biggest prospect you have, can't miss. He said, if you could get somebody that could help you make the playoffs, he said, you trade that guy. He said, because the can't miss prospects, they miss more than they make it. He said, and you don't have many chances to make the playoffs. So there was hesitation at the time, including Laporta into the deal, but they did, and it never came back to haunt them.
Well, it tells you so much about Sabathia and his makeup to go on short rest down the stretch in his free agency year right before it.
Gindel with a ground ball to second, and Sabathia works a nice 1-2-3 second inning. 2 in the books here in Milwaukee. Brewers lead 1-0. Yes, catch a new episode of WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show as the Yankee skipper dissects the current road trip and looks ahead to the Subway Series. It's a new Joe Girardi Show tomorrow at 6 after Yankees coverage only on Yes. Meredith Morakovich tells me that's the best Joe Girardi Show ever.
Ever.
Brendan Ryan, his first at bat of the season, and he wraps one up the middle for a base hit.
Not only the first at bat of the year, first pitch that he sees in a big league uniform this year, and hammers it right back up the middle. High fastball out over the plate.
These Milwaukee fans, very classy gesture. Many of them giving a standing ovation to Sabathia as he digs in. Now, CeCe was always very proud of the fact that he could hit. And he had 2 hits in his first 5 at-bats for the Yankees. And that was in starts against the Mets in the Subway Series in 2009 and 2010. But since then, he's 0 for 16, which is the longest hitless streak of his career. Now he's looking to bunt. Fouls that off. The Audi A3 scoreboard, 1-0 Milwaukee.
How many times do you see a standing ovation for a player who only played a couple of months, was basically a rented player here in Milwaukee?
He is beloved here. Grounded to short. There's going to be 2. There it is.
Well, CC Sabathia now 0 for 17, 2 for 22 as a New York Yankee offensively. Not able to get that bunt down. At least advance Brendan Ryan. Now a double play takes you out of the inning.
He is so loved here, John, that after he signed with the Yankees, his first year with the Yankees was 2009, they had a bobblehead day for a player that was no longer on the team. And there it is.
And you're right, they made a significant offer, $100 million to Sabathia to bring him back. Obviously, the Yankees got the man they wanted.
You see that double play just hit into John. 7 for 72 American League pitchers this year in interleague play.
It's not even the ability to get the base hits, just advanced runners with some sacrifice bunting, such an advantage in interleague play offensively for the National League pitchers. We talked about it last night with Tanaka. You just want to get out of this series with your pitching staff healthy when they have to hit.
John, if you think about it, in the States, you don't hit anywhere. No pitcher coming up hits anywhere except in the National League. So National League pitchers, they get to hit more, and they probably become a bit more proficient. But since you were a child, you were a pitcher, you didn't hit that much. And the unfairness goes both ways, because National League rosters are built to not have a big DH type that you could put into your lineup when you're playing American League cities. The two different rules, it's ridiculous, but I don't think it's something that will ever end.
Nope. We'll see it Monday when the Mets come to Yankee Stadium.
3-2 to Ellsbury.
Another look
What
at the pitch here.
It must have hit the catcher's glove, right?
High slider, foul ball into LaCroix's glove. He can't hold on. He's frustrated. But then a conversation with Ellsbury. Thinking maybe catcher's interference.
That's exactly what it is, John. Here's Brett Gardner. That one is drilled to right field. That ball is a fair ball into the corner. Ellsbury rounds third. Here he comes. The throw home is not in time. Moving to third is Gardner, and the Yankees have tied the score at 1.
Looked like Loesch was going to have an easy 1-2-3 inning. Gets a double play of Sabathia. The catcher's interference to Ellsbury. And Brett Gardner does not waste any time. Hammers it into right field. With Ellsbury at first, then his speed, you knew that there was a chance that he would be able to score. And take a look at the transition right here in the relay. Ellsbury coming around third. Ricky Weeks very slow with the transfer and the late throw. Ellsbury doesn't even have to slide.
Beltran takes strike. I have not heard the scoring yet, but I would think that's a double going to third on the throw. But we'll tell you exactly when we get the official score. But Gardner's on third, whatever the bookkeeping is. 0-2. And they give him a triple. Wow.
Well, the loneliest man on this field right now is Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate. Catcher's interference. You extend the inning. Brett Gardner and the Yankees make him pay.
That one's looped into left field. It is a base hit. Gardner scores. It's an RBI single for Beltran, and the Yankees lead 2-1.
Well, the numbers for Beltran against Kyle Loesch just continue to get better. .490 coming into this game, now 1 for 2, and more importantly, a 2-out base hit and an RBI. And again, Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate, got to be kicking himself. Catcher's interference leads to at least 2 runs here in the third inning.
And Teixeira grounds one to Weeks in short right field. And that'll do it. Catcher's interference starts the rally. Ellsbury gets on. A triple by Gardner. A single by Beltran. And the Yankees lead 2-1. at Yes Network your best fan photo using hashtag YesFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown during the game. Brought to you by AT&T. An unlikely rally for the Yankees, starting with catcher's interference. Before we start this half inning, John, catcher's interference, is it the catcher's fault, or is it just a wide swing that sometimes gets the glove?
No, you know what? You got to blame it on the catcher, but I think you got to pay attention to the swing of the hitter. In Ellsbury's case, he really chops it down on the ball, lets it travel so much, so he's a prime candidate to have the catcher's interference. So LaCroix needed to know that coming into the series.
Kyle Loesch takes inside.
See, it was like a slider then. From overhead, you should be able to see how deep Ellsbury tries to let the ball travel, and he just kind of slaps at it and gets a piece of the glove. Obviously, if you're a catcher, you just make an adjustment, sit back a little bit further.
Outing 8-3 scoreboard, 2-1 Yanks.
Sure, he's got some angry thoughts going through that head right now. Pitcher was having an easy inning, double play. Next thing you know, there are 2 runs on the board.
2-2. Loesch, shot from the Solarde. Loesch runs very well, but he is thrown out by Solarde for the first of the inning. It's about as well I've seen a pitcher run in a long time. He was really getting down the line.
Just the long strides. Looks like he had a little bit more left, too.
Another gear.
Yeah.
Here's Carlos Gomez, who pretty much went that pace around the bases after his home run in the first inning. This one he hits the other way, going into the corner. Beltran, foul ball.
Take a look back. First inning, Sabathia tries to go in with a fastball, doesn't get there, and Carlos Gomez just hammers it. 9th home run of the year.
The 0-1. 1-1. One and two. Brewers have Gomez locked up through 2016, signed him to a 4-year deal before last season, and so far it's paid off for them. The only question is where to bat him in the lineup. He's got great speed and also has power. And are you wasting that power on a team that doesn't have a lot of power with 9 home runs in the leadoff spot? But Renicky likes power and speed up there. Ricky Henderson had that. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tipped into the glove of McCann. 2 away.
Well, Sabathia is showing a good slider, that at bat right there to Gomez. He threw it about 3 times. McCann setting up away. Backdoor slider. Take a look on Yes Mo, which is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz dealers. Good pitch. Threw a fastball in the pitch before to make him aware, and then gets him with the slider.
Here's Gene Segura. One and 0. a long look into McCann. Too long for Segura's taste as he steps out. Not too many empty seats here at Miller Park. Looks like a sellout. Yesterday was over 40,000. There's a ground ball short, and it's booted by Ryan. Ryan, who has such a good glove and gets a base hit, his first pitch he sees this year, boots that ground ball, which would have been the end of a 1-2-3 inning.
As Derek Jeter's looking on, I mean, Brendan Ryan, one of those guys that makes this play in his sleep. Comes in, circles around the ball, just hits off the heel of his glove, and then makes its way out of his glove. Got a base hit his first at bat back as a New York Yankee, and now makes his first error.
Now here's Lucroy, who grounded to short in the first inning. Fielded cleanly by Ryan. 0-1. Two. Two-1 Yankees lead. Foul ball in front of the plate. Still 0-2. Milwaukee's run in the first inning, a Carlos Gomez home run. Yankees run. A two-out rally starting with a catcher's interference, with Jacoby Ellsbury taking first. A triple by Gardner, scoring Ellsbury. And then Beltran dunking a single to left, scoring Beltran. And that's the scoring right now, 2-1 Yanks. High fly ball, deep center. Ellsbury back. Still back. On the track, looking up. See ya! A two-run home run for Lucroy. And Milwaukee leads 3-2. Kind of made up for that catcher's interference, John.
Well, I'll tell you what, the third inning is turning out to be the inning of second opportunities and extra outs. Ellsbury, the catcher's interference, and this inning, the error by Ryan. Jonathan Lucroy only had one home run coming in. It's a shot just off to the right of center field. Gives the Brewers the lead.
Here's Ramirez. That one's driven deep to left field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is gone. Back-to-back bombs by the Brewers. And Milwaukee leads 4-2.
Well, Larry Rothschild's going to go out and have a talk, and Joe Girardi has said that Sabathia has not done a great job staying away from the big innings. Back-to-back home runs, 3 quick runs on the board. Boy, and that error by Brendan Ryan really looms large right now.
And I'm watching him throughout all this. He's hanging his head, Ryan is. And these are batters that Sabathia would not be facing if that ground ball was fielded cleanly.
And Ramirez, a player that has been struggling coming into this series, not anymore. A base hit his first at bat. His 5th home run of the year. And you see the okay changeup grip. That ball's supposed to be away, and it's supposed to be finishing away with some sink. It cuts back to the middle, and Sabathia has been having problems with that pitch all year long. The changeup that cuts instead of sinks, you can end up going a long way.
Here's Ricky Weeks. Weeks and Sabathia very, very close from Sabathia's time here. And Sabathia was actually at Weeks' wedding this offseason. And from that Milwaukee team, Sabathia has made lifetime friends with Weeks and Prince Fielder. All still very close. So Sabathia served up 3 home runs in this game. None of them a cheapie. 2-0.
Well, you can talk about Brendan Ryan and the error to extend the inning, but Sabathia's stuff has been flat here in this inning especially.
And another base hit. This one a single to center by Weeks.
You know what, Michael, when I look at Sabathia, his arm angle is so low. He's almost slinging balls across the plate, trying to get them in on the right-handers. I'd like to see his arm angle a little bit higher, easier to get the ball in on the righties. Give his slider a little bit more tilt. For some reason, that arm angle really, really low tonight.
Here's Mark Reynolds. And a breaking ball strike. Well, we've said it over in the early going. It's been an OBI situation with Sabathia. One bad inning. This could be that one bad inning. Popped up. That one's going to find grass, and it does. It's a base hit. Because of the shift, no one was there. A really, really long run for Roberts, Beltran, and Ellsbury, and Reynolds picks up a bloop single.
Well, a couple of bombs here in the third inning, and now a bloop. You see Roberts on the shortstop side. Thinking this should be a pretty routine play, running a long way. The shift hurting the Yankees in that situation. And Sabathia having trouble getting his way out of the bottom of the third. A good bid by Roberts, runs a long way. No man's land.
So a Milwaukee offense that has been struggling of late has come alive after the E6. First and third, still 2 outs, and here is Chris Davis. A strike, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Not that it matters unless you're into bookkeeping. None of these runs are earned. But they count. The 0-1. 1-1. No one feels worse than Brendan Ryan. One and two. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not.
Well, I didn't get the call right there, but Sabathia is showing a good slider again. Almost gets a check swing and the strikeout to end the bottom of the third. That's a pitch you'd like to see get better from Sabathia this year. He hasn't had that good biting slider down and in on the righties where he used to get a lot of swings and misses. Still 2-2.
60 pitches now through 3 innings. Two. 3-2. That's going to send Reynolds at first. Teixeira's going to play behind him. And Weeks will stay put at third to see what goes on. Pitches this inning. That doesn't add up to 62, guys. That adds up to 63, but there's one more pitch. This will be the 63rd. And he strikes him out with that pitch. It all started 2 outs in this inning and a ground ball by Gene Segura. 3rd out, right? Ryan booted it. That led to this. A 2-run home run by Lucroy and a solo shot by Ramirez. 4-2 Milwaukee. New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Call 1-866-NY-QUITS for free help today. After making just 17 starts with Milwaukee in 2008, CC finished 5th in the National League Cy Young voting. Who won the award that year in the National League? We'll find that out in the bottom of the inning. CC pondering the bottom of the 3rd as McCann starts the 4th. Count 1-1. Lincoln scoreboard, 4-2 Milwaukee. So Loesch doesn't bounce back well from the catcher's interference with 2 outs. And that led to 2 Yankee runs as they took a 2-1 lead. And then CC doesn't bounce back on the E6, leading to 3 runs. There's a base hit right through that hole on the left side. McCann picks up a leadoff single.
Well, this is a thing of beauty with the shift on. A little jam shot right at shortstop. Should be a routine play. Turns out to be a base hit because of the shift, and Brian has been talking about using the whole field, working on it in batting practice, and it pays off. So he beats the shift there to lead off the 4th inning.
Yankees down 4-2. Here is Solarte, who singled in the second. And a strike. And the count 1-1. Solarte has worked the count in his favor, 2-1. It's averaged at .311, and his on-base percentage is what's stunning because the reputation is someone who didn't walk. .392 on-base percentage.
Well, he's doing a good job right here laying off those two-seam fastballs from Loesch. Just off the plate. Now he's in the driver's seat, 3-1. Look for something middle in.
Grounded softly to Ramirez. That gets one. That's all he'll get. Ramirez ranging far to the glove side to get that one before Segura, and he gets the force.
Looks like he might be a little shaken up on the play as well. Solarte slaps one the other way. Good range. And the flip to Weeks at second. Brian McCann breaking up the possibility of a double play. Jonathan Lucroy is going to go out to the mound just to give Ramirez a little time. Looks like he might have tweaked something. Ranging to his left.
Well, Ramirez last year hurt his knee sliding. And he might have tweaked it right there. It looks like he might be coming out of the game. And he is.
Doesn't seem to be too much conversation. He's just walking right off.
Weird thing last year, John. He hurt his knee because he slides with the wrong foot. Kind of comes up and
Looks to be somewhat of a left hamstring, maybe a left leg injury. So he can go to grab his hamstring, his left hamstring right there.
Anyway, he slides with the wrong foot, John, and he tried to change that. Slide with the right foot, and then he hurt his knee. And now he doesn't slide at all, unless he absolutely has to, and then he'll go head first. Don't know if it's a knee injury or hamstring injury. Jeff Bianchi takes over at third base.
It's got to be frustrating for him and the Brewers. I mean, he's been struggling mightily lately, and all of a sudden he gets a base hit and a home run in this game, and now has to come out because of an injury.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Here's Brian Roberts. Solarte is at first. One man out. We're in the fourth. Yankees trail 4-2. That one is looped into left field. Davis is there to put it away for the second out. Davis covers a lot of ground to left. Doesn't have a good arm, but he can go get it. Well, Jonathan Lucroy made up for the catcher's interference with a home run. Let's see if Ryan makes up for the E6. Got a base hit on the first pitch that he saw this season. pitch outside. 1-0. Check the swing, but takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-1.
Watching Kyle Loesch pitch in this ballgame, mentioned in that scouting report, a perfect number 3 guy in anybody's rotation. Comes in with a 133 win record against 120 losses in his career. Doing it a long time, 14 years.
Chopped toward third. Bianchi gets a chance. And it's an infield single for Ryan.
Nice play by Bianchi coming off the bench cold. A roller down the third base line. He bare hands it. Comes up with a nice strong throw. Brendan Ryan 2 for 2, an infield hit. Nothing else. It brings up CC Sabathia. You get past that pitcher spot in the order. See if Sabathia can do something with the bat here with 2 outs.
Wrapped into a double play his first time up. There's a ground ball to short. Nice hop for Segura. Steps on the bag, beats Ryan there, and that will do it. Yankees no runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz after making just 17 starts with Milwaukee in 08. CC finished 5th in the National League Cy Young voting. Who won the award that year in the National League? And the answer is Tim Lincecum. That's pretty good to finish 5th when you only spent half the season.
17 starts. Made quite an impression in the National League.
Pitch to Callum Gimbel. Gindel is a strike. Count 0-1. The Lincoln scoreboard 4-2 Milwaukee.
I'm starting to see a couple of 92s from Sabathia with the velocity on his fastball. A little bit better than what we've seen early in the year.
Rip foul. And the 1-2. 2-2. You mentioned earlier, John, you think that CeCe's arm angle is lower than usual. What's a pitcher doing when he does that? Is he trying to guide the ball?
I think he's just gotten himself into some bad mechanics.
Fly ball center field. Ellsbury for the first out.
A lot of times, if you look at a pitcher's front side, it dictates what his arm side does. So we'll see if maybe his glove side is a little bit low.
When you say his front side, he's kind of leaking out?
Yeah, like you'd like to see your glove arm be a little bit higher. And we watch his delivery. Let's pay attention to where his glove goes. Goes down. And then his arm angle is a little bit lower. And, you know, sometimes to correct a low arm angle, you keep your front side a little bit higher. And then your throwing arm will rise accordingly with that. And the thing I notice it most on is the slider. It just doesn't have that good biting action down and away from lefties and down and in on righties that we've seen in the past.
CeCe was talking the other day in Anaheim, and he said that this year he feels comfortable in his body. Last year, after the extreme weight loss, he just didn't feel comfortable on the mound. It was like pitching in a new body. So there's not that to blame it on this time. But the results have not been good. 2 outs as Loesch is retired. Next Saturday on Yes, the Emmy-winning series Yankeeography Moments of Glory is back. On the season premiere episode, get the inside story of David Wells' magical 1998 perfect game with all new interviews and eyewitness accounts. Chevy presents Yankeeography Moments of Glory next Saturday at 8, only on Yes.
Well, it's funny, we're talking about arm angles and left-handed pitchers. Sabathia, in this case, David Wells with that show that's going to be coming on. He had a great high arm angle, get in on the righties with the best of them. Big 12-6 curveball and a quality change to go with it.
Gomez 0-2. Gomez homered off the windows of the Stadium Club in left field in the first inning, then struck out in the third. He's down 0-2 in the count now in the fourth. Missed outside. Top of the order for the Yankees in the fifth inning, starting with Ellsbury against Kyle Loesch. We're in the bottom of the fourth. It's 4-2 Milwaukee. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, got him. And Gomez down on strikes. 1-2-3 inning for CeCe. We go to the fifth. A little bit later on, and congratulations to Jim Leland. Let's take a look at the Honda League leaders. This is the American League batting average leaders for teams, and Jim Leland left a team that could really rake. 282 batting average. Yankees are fifth at 261. You see the teams in between.
We saw Jim Leland at Yankee Stadium when Seattle came in, looked very relaxed.
Yeah, he was there to see Lloyd McClendon, his former hitting coach. How'd you like to be Brad Ausmus? Usually you get your first job and it's a lousy job and it's a bad team. He's inheriting a team that could go to the World Series.
Yeah, a couple of studs in the rotation, and that batting average 282. Cabrera, Martinez go deep today. Stay out of the way, Brad. You think Jonathan Lucroy sitting back a little bit deeper in the catcher's box this time, Michael?
He probably might hit Paul Emmel before he hit Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah, there you go. Watch Jacoby Ellsbury hit, and he reminds me of Kenny Lofton back in the day with the Cleveland Indians. Kind of had that same style where he'd really let the ball travel and take care of it back in the strike zone. Kenny was one of those guys, you realize a catcher, you had to sit deep in the catcher's box.
Popped up. Bianchi puts it away for the first out. Let's go back to the studio. Bob Lorenz has another update. Bob? Thank you, Robert. Brett Gardner will dig in with one out here in the fifth. Yankees are down 4-2. And there's a strike. Gardner with an RBI triple in the third inning. First inning is a fly ball to center. Two one. 2-2. Foul the other way. Before the game, John, Meredith Morakovitz and I made the excursion up to the euchre seat in the last row of the upper deck behind the plate. And that was very interesting up there. They have a statue of him.
How was the view from up there?
It was obstructed. Strike three. Gardner down on strikes. Does not like the call. There we are with the statue of Euchre, and when you go up there, you make a donation for Make-A-Wish, and a lot of people take their pictures. But the seats around Euchre, there's about 200 seats, and there's two gigantic poles, structural poles, where, you know, Meredith could attest to this. You can't see home plate, you can't see second base. So you know what they sell those tickets for? $1 to get into the ballpark.
$1 for the obstructed view.
And there's Bob Uecker, the Hall of Fame broadcaster, who's been 50 years behind the mic here. And I asked him, I said, do people actually buy those seats? And he said, there's lines outside to get those seats. He said, because once you pay the $1, you're in the ballpark. You can stand wherever you want. But the seats that are behind the pole, you really can't see.
You know, if we go back to that picture, though, you look very, very comfortable next to Bob Uecker's statue.
got your elbow up on his leg. I mean,
we wanted to make it look real. We really did. There's the uke. Just hang with Bob.
What about personal space right there?
It's a statue, John.
All right.
Meredith was trying to interview a statue, which she's done throughout her career. But it's a great idea, and it's become a big attraction here at Miller Park. I spoke to Euchre about it. He goes, you know what's unbelievable? I said, what? He goes, the first day they put the thing up, my wife wanted to stay here overnight rather than go home with me. Offering him a cold one. Count 3-2. And the pitch. Rounded to first. Big hop, but Reynolds stays with it, steps on the bag, and Loesch works a 1-2-3 inning. The end of 4.5. We are halfway through. Brewers 4, Yankees 2. Just seat the house. The upcoming schedule brought to you by your local Acura dealer. One more game in Milwaukee. That's a 2:10 start tomorrow on Mother's Day. Then the Subway Series begins, 2 at the stadium and 2 at Citi Field. And then the Pirates are in town for an intra-league matchup at the stadium next weekend. Here's Segura against CeCe. Pitch inside, 1-0. Driven out to right field, long run for Beltran, and he'll make the play for the first out. So, John, after we went up to take pictures with the Yucca statue, then Meredith sought out the guys who run the sausage races here during the game, and there she is.
You guys are really busy pregame.
Trying to get some flavor. Meredith went out of her way to find these guys.
I didn't go out of my way, Michael. I happened to be walking back from doing my pregame hit, and they just happened to be standing in the hallway. What was I to do? Not take a picture with them? That would have been crazy.
It would have been nuts. You're right.
Yeah.
It would have been nuts.
I still have my eye on one thing here, though.
What's that?
That's the slide out in left field.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I've heard it's kind of scary and a little dangerous.
Apparently, you pick up some speed going down that thing, and when you get about halfway where it curves, it feels like you're going to fall into the field. So.
And you might do that tomorrow.
I'm thinking about it.
And you're trying to talk me into doing it with you.
Yes.
That's not happening.
What about the camaraderie? It's a team up here. Flash, what about you?
Well, obviously it's not a team because I wasn't anywhere near the euchre seat or the sausages, so I'm not part of the club, I guess.
Lucroy flies out to Ellsbury. You want to go up with the euchre statue tomorrow?
Oh, the invitation got lost in the mail today. That's fine.
Track, and we said we're going to the euchre statue, and you said that looks like it's a little bit too much effort for me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So here is Jeff Bianchi, who took over for Aramis Ramirez. When Ramirez hurt his leg, we haven't had any word specifically what's wrong on a fielding play. Oh, now we do have word. Left hamstring issue. So he overextended as he was moving to the glove side, and Bianchi took over. Count 1-1. Two and one. Two down here in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's a 4-2 Milwaukee lead.
A little bit of a break with Ramirez out of this game, and now Bianchi in his place. Only hit it 179 with 2 outs. You'd like to see Sabathia go right at him, try to get out of here with a quick inning in the fifth.
You know what amazed me about that picture with Meredith, though? The sausage race guys are real. Meredith is over 6 foot. Those guys towered over her. I didn't realize they were that tall. The 2-2. Still 2-2. Look at that. Another 4 feet.
What's the deal with number 5? He didn't want to be part of the picture. He kind of showing a little separation there.
I think that's the chorizo. The 2-2. Just stays alive. Swing and a miss. CeCe has retired 7 in a row. 5 are in the books here in Milwaukee. It's 4-2 Brewers. Yankees Baseball on Gas is brought to you in part by your Tri-State BMW Centers, by Just for Men Mustache and Beard, champions of facial hair, and by Honda. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Mark Teixeira will lead off here in the 6th, and he takes a first pitch strike from Kyle Loesch. Milwaukee 4 and the Yankees 2. Teixeira's 1 for 2 today. Singled in the second, then caught stealing, and then grounded to second. Now it is skied to left field and deep. That ball is off the top of the wall, and Teixeira has himself a double.
That's got to be a home run.
Well, Joe Girardi quickly out of the dugout, and likely going to ask for the umpires to take a look at that.
Looked like it hit the top of the wall and then continued past and then bounced back out on the field.
Jerry Meals, the third base ump. It was his call. Now all 4 umpires talking it over. And now it is a home run. So a very belated see ya as Teixeira rounds the bases, and the Yankees have pulled to within 1.
Well, the umpires get together and they get the call right, but good sign for Mark Teixeira, driving it the other way off the top of the wall, and then it continues back against that green wall and then bounces back out on the field. All of a sudden, the power game starting to come back for Mark Teixeira, and even more impressive going the other way, doing some damage.
McCann fouls one off. His 6th home run for Mark Teixeira, and 15th ribby.
So used to seeing him pull the ball from the left side. That is a really positive sign. Be able to drive it the other way.
Count 1-1 to McCann. Now 1-2. Grounded to second. The shortstop Segura makes the play for the first out. Let's take a look at the replay brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here.
A great look from the side. The bat knob starts, the barrel finishes. Great extension and follow through as the wrist turnover. You look at the bottom half from Mark Teixeira. Good drive. Everything's got to be right on time to be able to hit a ball out the other way. An impressive swing.
Teixeira's 144th Yankee home run, and that ties him with Reggie for 30th on the Yankee franchise list. Chopped slowly to first. Reynolds takes it himself for the second out. Teixeira, usually a slow starter, has 6 home runs and 15 ribbies, and remember, he missed about 2 weeks on the disabled list. Dylan Betances is getting ready. Brian Roberts skies one to center field. And there's the third out. But the Yankees creep closer. Mark Teixeira goes the other way. It's the top of the wall. Then it bounces over the wall. And when it finally comes down and Teixeira circles the bases, it's 4-3. inning here at Miller Park, and it's 4-3 Milwaukee after the Teixeira solo shot going the other way, just off the top of the left field wall. And Ricky Weeks is going to lead it off against CC Sabathia. "86 pitches for CC. And there's a strike.
Well, Sabathia's spot will come up in the order, the top of the 7th. We'd love to have a clean 6th inning here.
Count 1-1. Now 1-2. Middle game of this 3-game set. Yankees won last night 5-3. Down tonight 4-3, bottom of the 6th. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Milwaukee against the Yankee left-hander. Driven out to right field. And Beltran puts it away.
Well, we've been talking a lot about Sabathia and a little low arm angle. Let's take a look back. Mike Medvin in the truck getting a great shot from Sabathia in 2008. Frees it right there. You look at that front elbow as opposed to tonight where this elbow is low. That will create a little higher arm angle for Sabathia when he's going down the hill. So it's not so much the glove, it's the right elbow from Sabathia. Gets that good action in. Something maybe he can work on in between starts.
Here's Mark Reynolds, 1 for 2. 3 infielders on the left side for Reynolds, and he fouls it back. That shift cost the Yankees in the 3rd inning because a short fly ball in the shallow right center. It was too far for Roberts to make up that ground because of Roberts' place in the shift. He's on the shortstop side of the bag. If he was playing a normal second base, he probably makes that play. But we always say the shift giveth and taketh away. And obviously the charts show that it takes away way more than it gives. One. 2-1. And the 2-2 pitch. Fouled into the seats.
Sabathia had such a rough outing his last time out against Tampa Bay. Only 77 pitches, 3 2/3 innings. Pitch count creeping up towards 100 here in the 6th.
He's due up 3rd or 2nd next inning. So in all likelihood, this is his last inning. Larry Rothschild will get somebody up in the Yankee pen. And Betances was up earlier. He'll throw again. 3-2. Chop foul. Sabathia gave up a home run to Carlos Gomez in the first. Then the Yankees took a 2-1 lead in the top of the third, but 3 unearned runs in the bottom of the third. Right now, the difference in this game, Yankees added a run in the sixth. It's 4-3. Brendan Ryan booted a Segura ground ball, which would have been the third out. But then it's up to CeCe, John, to pick up his fielders. You can't blame it all on Ryan. After Ryan's error, then Lucroy hits a 2-run home run, and then Ramirez hits a solo home run. So, yeah, it did give him extra batters to face, but a pitcher has to pick up his guys.
And we've seen CeCe do it so many times in his Yankee career, but the stuff flattening out that inning, and it cost him.
Fans, follow every Yankees game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, score stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit Yankees.com today. Now, we talked about this toward the end of last night's game, that Yu Darvish flirted with a no-hitter, 2 outs in the ninth inning, and David Ortiz ends up getting a base hit to break it up. But then you find out later, when you see all the highlights, that Ortiz probably had the first hit a couple of innings before that. He had a blooper in the right field where the right fielder and the second baseman looked at each other and dropped, and the official scorer called it an error. Now, everywhere you go, you usually see that ball called a hit. But I actually think that's something that baseball should look into changing. That's the perfect reason for a team error, because when the pitcher gets a guy to pop the ball up, it should be an out. And if it's not an out, it should be an error of some sort. It's just strange that the Texas official scorer called it an error in the 7th inning when everybody else calls it a hit.
Who did he give the error to?
I think he gave it to the second baseman. Yeah. And it wasn't touched by either of them.
Right. Just a lack of communication.
And that's the perfect time for a team error, which has been talked about for years, but that was called an error to the second baseman. The 2-1. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit. Chris Davis with a single. Mark Reynolds will stop at second. Now, Girardi could go get Sabathia now and just double switch if he wants to do that. He's checking to see if Betances is ready. You don't have to just milk him through this inning because he's coming up second.
Well, you have the left-handed hitter coming up to the plate now. I'm sure Joe Girardi will give Sabathia a chance to try to get him out. Then you have the pitcher spot coming up next. No guarantee that Kyle Loesch will be hitting in that spot, obviously.
And he is on deck. Khaled Gindel, the right fielder, steps in. First and second, 1 man out.
This is when you're Sabathia, you got to get tough here. 8-9 in the order. First and second, 1 out. You got a lefty up there.
Popped up behind the plate and out of play.
Situation we've seen from Sabathia in the past where he can pick his game up just a notch and he gets himself in a little bit of trouble. Really has settled down after that rough 3rd inning. See if he can make a pitch here to the lefty.
The 0-1. A friend of mine just texted me, John, that the error was given to the right fielder in that Boston game. That was Alex Rios. And Rios said after the game, you know what? We should have caught it. But it was cleaned up by that 2-out single where no harm, no foul. Right here, it's 4-3 Milwaukee over the Yankees. First and second, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Gindel at the plate. 1-1. 2-1. Reynolds at second. Davis is at first. 105 pitches for CC. Gindel is 0 for 2 so far tonight. And the 2-1. 2-2.
Good pitch and a big count right there. Good slider. And Sabathia has done a nice job all year against lefties. 136 batting average coming in to this game. Obviously a big matchup right here. A couple of runners on.
Grounded and off the glove of the diving Teixeira. Backing up is Brian Roberts. He keeps the ball from going into the outfield, saves a run, but a base hit for Gindel, and the bases are loaded.
Well, Joe Girardi making that trip to the mound, and it looks like it's going to be Kyle Loesch coming to the plate. And Girardi's going to make a pitching change.
107 pitches for Sabathia. And they bring in the youngster to try to get out Kyle Loesch with the bases loaded, and CC departs. In the third, 8 hits, 4 runs, 1 of them earned. He allowed 3 home runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. 3 home runs in this game. When he was with Milwaukee for those 4 months, he made 10 starts at Miller Park and allowed 4 home runs in those 10 starts. So 3 home runs tonight. He leaves the bases loaded, and the Verizon call to the bullpen by Joe Girardi will bring in Dellin Betances with the bases loaded.
See his numbers on the year: 30 strikeouts and 17 in the third innings. Pitched Wednesday out in Anaheim in his first appearance in this series.
Well, Ron Renicki's trying to break it open right here. He's going to send up Scooter Gennett to pinch hit for Kyle Loesch with the bases loaded and 1 out. Reynolds at third, Davis at second, Gindel is at first. And Sabathia is a spectator. The 6'8" right-hander gets the sign and sets. There's a strike. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, such a valuable weapon as you see Thornburg getting loose in the Brewer pen. As Betances coming out of the Yankee bullpen, the ability with all those strikeouts to pitch out of some trouble, and obviously a big situation here.
There's that nasty breaking ball, 0-2.
Get ahead with the fastball down the middle. You go to the breaking ball down and in. You get a check swing. Betances, a lot of options here. You can elevate a fastball, see if he will chase. You bounce a curveball if you want.
Swing and a miss. Overpowered Scooter Gennett to get the second out. It's a devastating combination. Got great fastball and a nasty breaking ball.
Well, and you put it together, too, with Betances and now his confidence. And on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz dealer, you get a good look at the break on that curveball. Well, you have a very young, confident pitcher coming out of the Yankee bullpen with great stuff. That's a tough combination.
Yankees did not double switch when Betances came in, so this is his inning, and then they'll pinch hit for him. He's due up second in the seventh. Pitch to Gomez is outside 1-0. Gomez a home run against CC and then 2 strikeouts. Strike. 96 mile-an-hour fastball.
We saw the power of Gomez leading off this game against the power arm of Dellin Betances. Pretty good matchup.
There's the breaking ball. 1-2.
Couple of fastballs away. You come back with the breaking ball, and that's not his best one. He still gets a swing and a miss.
Just on a change of speed. You get people out make a mistake with a hanging breaking ball. He just did. The 1-2. Swung on a miss. What a performance by Betances. Bases loaded, 1 out, and he strikes out the pinch hitter Gennett, and then strikes out Gomez, and the Brewers leave the bases loaded. We go to the 7th inning. The Yankees down by 1, 4-3. Coors Banquet timeless moment. And we go back to May 10th, 1936. Joe D hits his first major league home run in a 7-2 Yankees win versus Philadelphia. And Joe D, the first of 361 home runs. A timeless moment indeed. Dellin Betances, 7 pitches, 2 strikeouts, gets out of a bases loaded. 1 out jam. Kelly Johnson is going to pinch hit against the new pitcher for the Brewers, Tyler Thornburg. Johnson pinch hitting for Ryan, and the pitch inside.
Joe Girardi going to his bench against a tough bullpen. You see the numbers for Thornburg, very good early on. 11 hits and 18 1/3.
And Ichiro is on deck. he will pinch hit for Betances.
Brendan Ryan 2 for 2, gets pinch hit for. He'll be thinking about that costly error more than the couple of hits.
Boy, if you ever want to know the difference in National League Baseball, Kyle Loesch would not be taken out of this game, but Ron Renneke saw an opportunity. Let's get some runs, turn it over to what is a very good bullpen, but it didn't work out for him.
Kelly Johnson just helped him out right there. Fastball up out of the zone. Alfredo Aceva is getting his gun hot in the Yankee pen.
Foul back. Cadillac scoreboard, 4-3 Milwaukee leads. And the 3-2. Foul back again. And a pinch hit walk for Kelly Johnson. So we helped him out on one 3-ball pitch, but that one took just off the plate. So Thornburg with a walk.
We'll take a look. It's clearly off the plate. Lucroy tries to bring it back, frame it towards the corner. Does not get the call. Turns out to be a good at bat from Kelly Johnson. Leadoff runner on here in the 7th in a 1-run game.
Now Ichiro pinch hits for Betances. Count 1-0. And Lucroy will go out and talk with Thornburg.
This is how the Milwaukee Brewers win games, and one of the best records in baseball. They haven't been scoring a lot of runs lately, but their pitching is Zach Duke getting loose in the pen. Pitching is their strength. Ryan Braun out of the lineup. They're winning a lot of close games.
Hot shot up the middle and through for a base hit, a pinch hit single for Ichiro. So Joe Girardi pushes the right buttons here in the 7th. A pinch hit walk, a pinch hit single, and the Yankees are set up 1st and 2nd and nobody out.
Well, Ichiro Suzuki really has done a nice job in limited playing time. It's a fastball down, just rifles it right back up the middle. Batting average over 370 coming into that at bat. Limited playing time.
And that single gets him to 385. It's funny, in spring training and coming out of spring training, he didn't have a role, but he's carving out a role.
Yeah, he is.
Well, Ron Renneke's going to go to the bullpen. We'll duck out for just a moment. May 17th, when the Yankees take on the Pirates in an intra-league matchup, the first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Yankees keychain courtesy of New York Presbyterian Hospital. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Well, the Yankees got a look yesterday at Zach Duke. He came on in relief of Giovanni Gallardo and actually pitched well. 18th game, 22 strikeouts in 15 2/3 innings.
This would be interesting to see what Joe Girardi is thinking here. First and second, nobody out. A couple of lefties coming to the plate. Jacoby Ellsbury, Brett Gardner. Do you bunt Ellsbury? Do you let him swing away with the lefty hitting Gardner on deck? Do you think about pinch hitting for Gardner if you do bunt?
Well, Ellsbury 0 for 2 reached on catcher's interference that started the Yankees' 2-run rally in the third. First and second, they're expecting a bunt as Bianchi is in on the grass at third. I'm not so sure he's going to bunt.
I'm not so sure either.
Fly ball left field. Well, maybe he should have bunted. No, he's too good a hitter. So he flies out to left field for the first out.
We saw Duke last night. He's got that low arm angle, good breaking ball against the lefties. Ellsbury first pitch swinging, routine fly ball. Now Joe Girardi going to go to his bench again. Alfonso Soriano on deck.
He's going for it here as he's emptying his bench using 3 pinch hitters. And Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, going to talk things over with Zach Duke.
I thought Soriano might have gotten a start tonight. He had good numbers coming in against Kyle Loesch. He did not. And now gets an opportunity right here against the left-hander Duke.
See if he has any history with Duke. He has a big history. 16 for 37 with 2 home runs, a .432 batting average. And a breaking ball drops in there for a strike.
Say that's a pretty favorable matchup right there. .432 with a couple of jacks.
Rip foul.
That's what we saw last night from Duke, really dropping down, slinging that breaking ball up to the plate.
.320 hitter against lefties, 184 this year against righties. The 0-2. Hit sharply, foul. Very close.
Wow. Jerry Meals, a good look at it right in front of him.
The 0-2. A base hit through the right side. That'll tie the game. It wasn't hit hard, but it was perfectly placed. An RBI pinch hit single for Alfonso Soriano, and it's a 4-4 game.
Big reason to smile right there for Soriano. Just fights one off the other way. Duke comes in with a fastball. Sori gets jammed, and you can see the shift up the middle, shading him to pull. And just slaps it into right field, base hit. We're all tied here in Milwaukee.
3 pinch hitters have all come through. A walk, a single, and a single. Now here's Beltran with the go-ahead run at second. First and second, 1 out. There's a strike once again. A team gets burned by the shift. That would have been right at Ricky Weeks. But the closest to it was the first baseman, Mark Reynolds.
And the Brewers better be careful here. Ichiro taking a big lead. We saw him steal third base last night. Gets jammed. See Weeks shading him up the middle. Doesn't hit it hard. Like you said, Michael hits it in the right place.
Way outside. 2-1. And the 2-1. Driven the other way and out of play. 2-2. Kelly Johnson started the inning, pinch hitting for Brendan Ryan. He walked. Ichiro pinch hit for Betances, singled up the middle. Ellsbury with a fly ball to left for the first out. Soriano pinch hitting for Gardner, punches one through the right side to tie the game. It all starts with the walk. 2-2. Grounded to third. Bianchi goes to second, 1 on to first. It's a double play. And around the horn, 5-4-3 double play off the bat of Beltran. But the pinch hit single by Soriano ties the game. Yankees were looking to take the lead, but this is how the inning ended. But later on, Cadillac scoreboard, it's all tied at 4. And a new pitcher for the Yankees, Alfredo Aceves. And he pitched that 1 game in relief, 5 1/3 innings. 3 hits and walk a batter, struck out 5. His first go around with the Yankees, and you see the new defense. You've got Ichiro taking over in left, Johnson at third. Solarte moves to short. But in his first time around with the Yankees, he had an innate ability to be able to pick up victories. So he has a chance right here. Aceves does. And he will face 2, 3, and 4 in the Milwaukee order. And the pitch to Segura is a strike. The 0-1. Kind of waved at that one, 0-2.
Good breaking ball from Aceves right there. 93 with the fastball. Nice curve following it up. Disappointing top of the 7th inning for the Brewers. The bullpen has really been a strength for their club. They struggled in the 7th. A weak swing right there from Segura.
And the 0-2. 1-2.
There was some conversations about putting Aceves in the rotation with the 5 1/3 shutout innings, but Joe Girardi opting to keep him in the pen.
Nice fallback option, though. 1-2. Chop to third. Johnson fires to first, and they get the speedy Segura for the first out. Next week, it's a battle for New York bragging rights as the Yankees and the Mets square off in the Subway Series. Our coverage on Yes starts Monday at 6 with Audi batting practice today and the Tri-State 4 pregame. Then we'll have Game 1 as Curtis Granderson makes his first return to the Bronx in a Met uniform. It's all right here on Yes. Here's Jonathan Lucroy. Count 1-0. Lucroy with a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. So the run the Yankees score in the 7th takes Sabathia off the hook. He cannot take loss. He will get no decision in this game. Same deal with Loesch. And a strike. 1-1. Right field. Beltran, it's over his head. Lucroy will have a double. Beltran got eaten up by that one. Looked like he misjudged it, and then it took off on him.
Well, the ball jumps off of Lucroy's bat here going the other way. He did have 18 home runs last year, 82 RBIs. Had that big shot off of Sabathia just to the right of center field, and now a double over the head. Carlos Beltran.
Here's Bianchi in the spot vacated by Aramis Ramirez. Left the game with a hamstring injury, left leg. And a strike to Bianchi. And the count 0-2. Runner at second, 1 out. Popped up. Roberts drifts back, and he'll make the play for the second out. And that's going to bring up Ricky Weeks. Weeks 1 for 3 tonight. And Will Smith is up in the pen. Fastball strike on the inside corner.
Looked like a balk, yeah.
That moves Lucroy to third, and Joe Girardi wants to talk with Aceves. Looked like a pick-me-up sort of trip. Don't worry about it.
Well, he flinches there a little bit and then tries to step off, but he gets called for the balk.
The 0-1. Down in the hole and through for a base hit. Lucroy scores. It's an RBI single for Weeks. And Milwaukee leads 5-4.
First RBI of the season for Weeks. Was hurt last year, didn't have a productive year. His job was taken away from him. Now he gets a chance tonight in the starting lineup. It comes through with a big 2-out hit for the Brewers. Fastball in. Hits it hard just out of the reach of Solarte, who lays out for it.
Here's Mark Reynolds. Reynolds 1 for 2 with a walk.
Watching Joe Girardi's reaction in the dugout, maybe he wanted to pitch around Weeks and take his chances with Reynolds, who's more of a free swinger. Obviously he has a lot of power, but you can pitch to him. Looked like Joe was a little disappointed in the dugout about something. Maybe that conversation out on the mound.
McCann wants to get it right with Aceves. Three infielders on the left side for Mark Reynolds. And the count 0-2. The fourth sellout of the year here in Milwaukee, 43,085. Trying to spur on the Brewers. Missed outside, 1-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. But a ball over the head of Beltran ends up haunting the Yankees as the Brewers take a 5-4 lead. Well, John, it's time for the T-Mobile Game Changer.
Bottom of the third, the T-Mobile Game Changer. The error by Brendan Ryan extends the inning in the third. Jonathan Lucroy follows it up with a 2-run shot to center field, and then back-to-back home runs from Ramirez. Bottom of the third inning. A lot changed on that T-Mobile Game Changer. The error by Brendan Ryan.
Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. It's 5-4 Milwaukee. Each team with 10 hits. Each team with an error. The 2-run home run by Lucroy. A solo home run by Teixeira, left-handed, going the other way. Ricky Weeks with the go-ahead single. Ramirez left the game in the third inning with a strained hamstring. Well, the Brewers need a fresh pitcher, so they go to Will Smith.
Another Brewer reliever having a very good start to his season. .59 ERA. 22 strikeouts at 15 1/3.
And he is going to face the heart of the order, 4, 5, and 6. Starting with Teixeira, the Hyundai scoreboard, 5-4 Milwaukee. Breaking ball drops in there for a strike. The 0-1. Another breaking ball. This a little low on this one. 1-1. Teixeira's 2 for 3 today. Singled in the second, caught stealing, then grounded to second, and then the opposite field home run to left. This time, obviously, batting from the right side against the southpaw. The 1-1. 2-1. Grounded to short. Segura waits for it and gets Teixeira for the first out. Well, tomorrow afternoon on Yes, the Interleague Showdown comes to a close when the Yankees and Milwaukee square off in the series finale from here at Miller Park. Coverage will start at 1 with Audi batting practice today at the Tri-State 4 pregame. It's all only on Yes. Here's Brian McCann against the lefty Smith. McCann's 1 for 3. He must be thrilled to look out there and not see a shift.
Well, the Brewers pretty much playing him straight up.
Fouled straight back here. Just under our booth. Well, they had the shift on him, John, in the 4th inning, and he exposed it by hitting a ground ball to where the shortstop would be. So looks like they've reconsidered here.
It really is amazing how much the game has changed with all these shifts and all the information that we have today. Remember back when I first came up, you'd have a meeting about how to play defense. It was we're going to pitch him away, shade him away. Pitch him in, shade him the pole a little bit. That was pretty much the extent of it.
Well, everybody's looking to get an edge. McCann actually gets more hits to left than anywhere else. But if he's hitting it on the ground, they think he's going to hit it to the right side. But that's not necessarily been the case. Also against the lefty, they don't shift as much. The 1-2. Missed inside with a good fastball. 2-2. The closer for Milwaukee is K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. McCann down on strikes.
Well, you can see why Smith has gotten off to a good start this year. The fastball at about 94. In on the hands of Brian McCann, and then he comes back off speed, down and away. McCann way out in front. A great look at the grip and the spin and the rotation on the ball.
Here's Solarte. And a strike. You see his stuff and you realize why he has numbers like that. Good live fastball, good breaking ball. The 0-1. Here's the breaking ball, 0-2. Two. Grounded foul. Swing and a miss. Strong inning for Will Smith. The Yankees go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Milwaukee up by 1. Tomorrow starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. David Phelps gets started for the Yankees against Matt Garza. Our coverage on Yes begins at 1. First pitch should be right around 2:05. Chris Davis takes a strike from Alfredo Aceves. Hyundai scoreboard 5-4, Milwaukee leads. Count 1-1. Chris is 1 for 3 tonight. Fly ball to left in the second, struck out in the third, and singled to center in the sixth. Count 2-1. There he is, K-Rod getting ready. Matt Thornton in the Yankee bullpen. Count 3-2 on Davis. And the 3-2. Line to left field. Soriano. Well, check that. Ichiro puts it away for the first out. Well, as promised earlier, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to @YesNetwork using hashtag YesFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. A couple of Yankee fans smiling when the picture was taken. Probably not that thrilled right now. The Yankees down 5-4. And here is Caleb Gindel.
Savas trying to keep it right here at 5-4. K-Rod doesn't have an ERA yet. And a great job out of the Brewer bullpen early.
Logan Schaefer will pinch hit for Will Smith. And he walks Gindel with one out. And Larry Rothschild will come out and talk with the Sevas. You know, we're talking about the phenomenal success this year of K-Rod. And he had a very difficult spring training, John. He stepped on a cactus in Phoenix and had to have 12 needles pulled out of his foot. Now, I haven't been in Arizona that much, but aren't those usually big enough to see?
Of course they are. I mean, it just
makes... How do you step on a cactus?
Now, I don't know anything about this incident.
Right.
But I do play golf.
Okay.
And occasionally I do hit it off of the fairway. I know it's probably hard for you to believe that.
Anytime you fail on anything, it's hard for me to believe.
So I'm thinking that there could be a possibility he stepped on a cactus, maybe on a golf course.
I don't know.
Just goes to show you that spring training doesn't matter. He had some visa problems, a cactus problem, and he's had a great first month.
He's leading the major leagues in saves. Logan Schaefer pinch hitting for the pitcher. Fly ball to left field. Ichiro is there and puts it away for the second out.
K-Rod will face the bottom third of the Yankee lineup. Roberts, Johnson, and Ichiro.
Gomez hit a home run in the first and struck out 3 times after that. Skied the other way and out of play. On the hands of Gomez, and it's 0-2.
He's hit a home run. He struck out 3 times, and now he's behind in the count 0-2. Any chance he cuts down on his swing? I doubt it.
I don't know if he's got that in his toolbox. fly ball, left center. Ellsbury makes the play on the warning track, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. But the Yankees have a rally in their bones. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the 2014 Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2014 models. Look at the Harley-Davidson Museum. As the Yankees try to get something started here in the 9th inning against Francisco Rodriguez. Look at the numbers. 14 for 14 in save situations. 26 strikeouts in 18 innings. And this is after not even being able to work out much during the offseason. There was a lot of civil unrest in his hometown of Caracas, Venezuela. Protest violence. And he said that there were soldiers with AK-47s outside his house every day. Brian Roberts with a high fly ball to right. Gindel back on the track. He makes the play a couple of feet in front of the wall. So Roberts bid for a tie there, just falls a bit short.
Well, he went up there swinging the bat too, hunting a fastball. He got it, just worked underneath it a little bit. Obviously, we know Rodriguez's best pitch is a devastating slider. He gets deep into account. You know you're going to see plenty of them. Roberts tried to beat him with the fastball just underneath it a little bit.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Johnson 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Well, Johnson pinch hit in this spot. Brendan Ryan was 2 for 2 and Johnson walked. There's a strike. That one is driven deep to right field. Gindel makes the play almost in the exact same spot with the second out. So both Yankees have hit the ball hard, but too much ballpark out there.
Well, this is the slider that Rodriguez is known for. It just spins middle of the plate. Kelly Johnson, a good swing, just had a little top spin on it. There's a grip in the rotation. Not his best slider, and Johnson hits it hard.
That leaves it up to Ichiro. Pinch hit single for him in the 7th. Ichiro 20 hits in 54 at-bats this year.
Ichiro only 2 for 26 against Rodriguez. That's hard to believe. A guy who can run the way that he runs. Derek Jeter getting loose for possibility of a pinch hit appearance.
Popped up left field. Schaefer makes the play, and Milwaukee wins 5-4. While the Yankees battled back to tie, but then the Brewers picked up a run in the 8th inning. And that was all they needed as their bullpen took over from there. A scoreless 8th, a scoreless 9th. And the series is even at a game apiece. So Milwaukee celebrates. K-Rod's now 15 for 15 in saves. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up and get you ready for the postgame with Bob Lorenz. 5-4 Brewers win.